The Interrobang podcast is brought to you by Simply Financial. Flex on your ex-bank with up to $700 from Simply Financial. Visit simply.com today. Conditions apply.
Hello and welcome to the Red Couch Podcast. I am your host, Ben Harrietha. It's our first episode shooting not only in person, but on video as well. So this is a special one. We've got another great episode coming up and with another great guest. But first, here's what's making news at Fanshawe. Fanshaw's Pathways Fair is returning once again. The annual fair offers students the opportunity to meet with partner institutions from all around the world to explore additional post-secondary education after graduation. Students will be able to speak with partners from the UK and all over Europe on January 31st from 10 to 2 at main campus. Representatives will also be at the downtown London campus from 3 to 5 p.m. Rising rental costs are making young students think twice about staying in London post-graduation. According to rentals.ca, rent for a one-bedroom apartment increased by 31.9% on average in 2022, nearly twice the national average. Naughton Childs, the co-chair for Acorn London, says that the city's housing crisis will not be solved by just building more homes. Instead, it needs to be made sure that existing houses are affordable for low to moderate income renters. He adds that if young people continue to leave for greener pastures, the culture of the city will take a huge blow. For any student looking for a professionally done headshot, Fanshaw's photography program has you covered. The studio is offering $15 headshots and $8 passport photos for students. The price was picked by the students of the photography program as a fair and reasonable price for a student that they'd be willing to pay. The studio, located in D1035, is open Mondays from 12 to 3 p.m. You can book your headshots or passport photos at fanshawphotography.com.wordpress.com. For more information on those stories, visit our website at www.theinterrobang.ca. So, like I said earlier, this is a special episode. It's our long foretold format switch. We're on video now, baby. Let's go. Unless you're listening on an audio podcast like on Spotify or Apple, in which case, hello, audio listeners. I am waving to you. What a better way to kick off this new format of the podcast than to bring back the person who helped us kick off this season, the FSU president, Ismail Arave. How you doing, Ismail? Welcome.
Thank you for having me here.
So I'm sure most of the people who are listening know who you are. But, we always get new listeners every episode. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself for anyone who maybe doesn't know who you are?
Hi, everyone. My name is Ismail Arave. I'm the current Fanshawe Student Union president. My role consists of communications, and I'm the chief spokesperson of the Fanshawe Student Union. And my portfolio consists of communications, public relations, and building relations with the other student unions and third-party organizations that is related directly or indirectly with the Fanshawe students.
Perfect. My next question was actually going to be asked, so what does the FSU president do? But I guess perfect. We answered that, right? So, we're coming up on the end of your term as the FSU president. How do you feel? How are you feeling right now?
It's a mixed feeling. I feel happy that I get to do a lot of things, but I also feel sad that I'm no longer be serving the students and no longer be walking through the hallways and seeing all the students' smiling faces. So yeah, it's a mixed feeling.
It's a mixed feeling, yeah. When you were first running for election, did you think you were going to win, or was it were you like, I have this in the bag, or were you really, really nervous?
I actually never thought that I would be running for a president or become a president. I'm an international student coming from India, so my only goal was to pass out. That would be my first goal or my greatest accomplishment. But it just happened, people, the students I knew and the friends that I made here as a student life coordinator before with the Fanshawe Student Union, everyone motivated, hey, you can be a president, run for it. I ran for it, and here I am.
Yeah, here we are, right?
Yeah.
So it's totally just kind of like a, why not, basically?
Yeah,
and then,
why not? Yeah.
And then, you won.
Yeah.
How did that feel?
It was good. Yeah. It was a really mixed feeling where I never thought that I could accomplish this. And then I was really grateful and thankful to all the friends that pushed me to running as a president. But yeah, so far it has been a great journey.
So over the term of this past, year or so, what have you been the most proud of? as like FSU president?
The most proud of?
Yeah.
There are a lot of things that I've did in my term. I don't know, I have to pick one, right?
No, go ahead. If you want to talk about multiple of them, go ahead.
One of the things that I would say is actually myself as well, when coming out of COVID, as a student life coordinator, pandemic, as we are coming out of pandemic, I was as a president coming out of pandemic, getting this student experience, and it was really hard. I could see that students are hesitant to talk to each other. Like everyone forgot how to talk to each other, even myself. So it was me. I have to put myself out there talking to students. So my greatest accomplishment in a simple way, like it might sound simple, but like being out there talking to students, being proactive, and reaching out different population of our students and asking their opinions on what we can do for them.
How was it being like the president that first semester back after COVID?
It was like people had so much expectation, maybe like just my friends, I would say, who had too much expectations, but it felt different, but it also, I had people to guide me. I had like FSU staff team, I had my exec team who guided me, even though they were new in this organization. I always look to my coordinators, who always teach me something new.
Is there anyone specific you wanted to shout out, maybe?
All three of my coordinators, Francisco, Tanya, and Paula.
Perfect. Is there any advice that you would have given yourself at like the start of your presidency? Like if you could go back in time and talk to yourself right as you won, what would you tell yourself?
I would say that don't take too much stress. There are people who are going to support you in any way possible, and try your best, right? Like it's because the president's position is basically you are in different committees and bringing those student problems. So don't feel like you're complaining, but you're bringing those feedback from students, and people listen. Like people in the committees really listen.
How's it? How's like your, I guess, like student response bit? I guess if that makes sense. Like how, like have you do students like you? Basically, is what I'm trying to ask. I've got no problems with you. I like you.
I think they like me. Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen, you put on, you're a nice guy. I like hanging out with you. I like having you on the podcast. So I hope students like you.
Hopefully, yeah. Yes. If you don't like me, let me know. I can improve. I'm always open to feedbacks.
Just imagine getting like feedback that's just, I don't like you. And it's like, okay, well, thanks. How do I improve on that?
Yeah.
So in tandem with that, like for the new president who will be coming up, I believe in March, I think it is March, around there. Yeah. Is there any advice that you'd give to them?
Yeah. So like the nominations are already open from today.
Yes.
So students, like I have some students who reached out to me asking for more information. The only advice I would say is being proactive. Talking to students, and do what they want instead of doing what you want.
For sure. So like listening to that student voice and taking it into like consideration, whatever you're like
that, like being open and listening to students helped me do my campaign. Like I focused on what students want. So as soon as I came, like I was doing my campaigning, listening to students. That's what I heard. Like they want more networking opportunities. They want more fun in their life because they've been shut in a lockdown for 2 years almost. So they wanted to be out there, meet people, like all those things.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean that's like the important part of the job, right? It's right in the name. We're the Fanshawe Student Union. It's you got to listen to people. Yeah. It's the same way here. We write what people are interested in.
Yeah.
So, is there anything that you would have like? I don't want to say like this in like a negative way. Is there anything you would have like changed during your presidency? Like maybe you did something and you're kind of like, I could have changed that.
Of course, there is a lot of improvement that we need in the sense where your onboarding process or maybe, but in general, it would be like the improvement in myself. Because for me, it was like the whole environment was new for me because we don't have these student unions in India, which is like this powerful, sitting hand in hand, like with like in the table like in local level or like all those, like not this strong.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of learning, and there was a lot of proactive approach to researching on what this means, what that means, because there were a lot of things that I didn't know. So I had to go on and like put my extra efforts to researching and also not like that, but like also reaching out to other student union counterparts or like other presidents. So I had an opportunity to go to Ottawa and meet other student union leaders, and they were all from around Canada. So I not only like in that event, but we like hang out like outside that, and we were still talking about work. But I got to know a lot of things that happens, and like some presidents and some student leaders who have been with the student unions for like 1 or 2 years. So it was a great opportunity. So I would say like proactive approach in learning more things.
Yeah, just making sure you're like trying to find out that experience, and get that experience as quickly as possible, so that you can be as good of a president for the student union as possible. Yeah. How was that, like going over to Ottawa and meeting like presidents of student unions from across the country? That's really cool.
It was great. It was empowering, I would say, because. And it was just like right when I started in summer, I had the opportunity to go. So I would be honest by saying I was really scared. Oh, what did I get into? What did I get myself into? So it was scary, I would say. But also when I met all the other student leaders, and they were feeling the same thing. Most of them were new as well, starting their position. So it was great to share that feelings, and it also that it was a connection point for all of us. Like we connected each other. We are still connected on Instagram or WhatsApp, and like, hey, like this is what's happening. What do you think I should be doing? Like, you know, like we kind of made, and like we also meet, like we also have like an ad hoc meeting. Like we every month we meet each other, update each other what's going on, share ideas, bounce ideas. Like, hey, what do you think would be the best thing? So these are all like great experiences.
It's really interesting because like between a lot of colleges and universities and stuff, there's like almost like a sense of like competition, if that makes sense, rivalry. But it's really interesting to see that like all the student union presidents, are constantly like talking with each other and like collaborating on ideas and stuff. Like that's really interesting.
Yeah, like it's up to like how you look at the things, right? Like if you look at the things, like for example what Western does, like I can think of it as like a competition, or I could think of like, hey, you did this, how can I do this as well? Or maybe they would reach out to me, hey, you did this, how can we do this? Like there are a lot of collaboration, I would say. So I don't see it as a competition.
No, totally. I think it's just interesting because it's like Western and Fanshawe, we have like a rivalry at least between like students. When I went here, it was very much like there was a Western Fanshawe kind of button heads thing. But it's really cool to see that when it comes to bettering the student experience for those students, that the rivalry fades away. It's just it's all help. It's all collaborative.
Yeah, like I don't know about like maybe students have that. Like I have never seen that. But like in terms of student leaders, like I met their team. I got a chance to meet all of them. So they are all amazing. And we are here for a common goal, to serve students, to help students. And because there are a lot of factors that happens in-house, but there are a lot of factors that happens outside campus. And it's similar to what our students would have, like the issues that our students would have, or the issues that their students would have. It's common. So coming together would actually be helpful for us.
Yeah, because student issues aren't just a Fanshawe thing. They're not just a Western thing. Like a student issue in London is going to affect every student in London, right? Has there been any like big student issues that you guys have collaborated on, like something that you both have noticed and you guys have tried to work to fix?
Like there are a lot of student issues, I would say. Safety of the campus, safety on campus is a big issue that Western, like what I understand from them is, and it's similar to what we have here as well. But what I was actually had a chance to meet the Minister of Women and Youth of Canada, and they actually came to Western, and because I have a good relationship with Western, they actually invited me to be in that roundtable. So it just happened this Friday. last Friday. So I had a chance to go there and bring that Fanshawe perspective of what we are doing and what we would like to see. So there were 2 MPPs as well. So I got a chance to meet with them, bring those perspective. So it was really because of those collaborations and that collaboration they invited. I got a chance to go, bring those information, and also wherever I would go, I know what's happening in Western and what issues and things that they want to see. I can bring those information as well.
So this is tangentially related to that kind of. How does it feel to meet like really, really like, I guess, big people in terms of like politics? Like you said, you met the Minister of Women, and and like that had to be like a really, really crazy experience.
Yeah, it was like. As I mentioned, like I've never seen student unions and student leaders have this much power. Like people listen actually. So that was like an amazing experience. I was just surprised how.
Hello?
I actually have someone to walk till the.
There we go. Lights are back on. They're not shutting the power off on us yet. It's not doing that bad.
We are actually like, if there is no movement, we are saving, and saving electricity.
It's just an energy saving. You know, we're just we're being responsible and environmentally conscious.
Yeah, see how sustainable we are.
So yeah, I mean, I because as like a reporter, I got the opportunity to meet some like really like, I don't know if like cool is the right word, but it was just definitely like, wow, this is like a culture shock, because I'm from like a really, really small town. And then I met like Aaron O'Toole, he was running for prime minister the last federal election.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, wow, that was cool. And I got to meet like an Olympian, you know, and it's just crazy. It's because like you go from talking to like students to being like talking to people who are important on a national level.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else you'd like to add before we kind of hit the wrap on this?
You were so quick that I forgot what I had to say. In the sense, like, we have elections going on. Mm-hmm. That's what one of my focus. I want more students to be running for the president or the director's role. And we have a town hall coming as well. So usually what happens is in town hall, I give presentations of what I did till now, and I'm open to listening to students, what they want to see that's going to happen. So it's an open conversation, me directly involved with the student body. So that's one thing. And the other thing is I want more students to run for election in the student leader positions. And I'm always open to meeting one-on-one or as a group to answer all the questions that they have, or if they feel, oh, I don't think I can run because I met a student, I see that student that he's really involved and he's really like, whenever I see that student, he's talking to some students or telling him what services and things like that. So I told him like, oh, no one told me that I could be a president, and now hopefully he is going to run for a president. So I told like, don't think that you cannot be a president. Think of how you can be a president, and my doors is always open. You can come have a meeting with me, and then I can get you all those information that you need so that you are successful in your campaigning and all those things.
Perfect. Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself. Just encourage people to run for president, because hey, if you want to make Fanshawe a better place, I ain't going to complain. Perfect. Thank you for coming on for our first episode of the Red Couch podcast, man. It's been great. I loved it. And thank you guys for listening. So we're going to continue to have weekly podcasts. So we're going to have an audio podcast one week and a video podcast another week. So this week will be the video podcast, obviously. And then the week after this, we'll have a audio podcast discussing our next issue, which will be coming out. Follow us on all our socials to keep up with all things Fanshawe. So for the Red Couch podcast, I'm Ben Harriatha. Mic drop.
The Interrobang podcast is brought to you by Simply Financial. Flex on your Axe Bank with up to $700 from Simply Financial. Visit simply.com today. Conditions apply.